Hey Pitmasters, what is up? Today we're going to be making a piglet rib roast. Look at this piglet rib rack. We're going to take off the belly and expose those bones, and then we're going to stuff this. What I'm looking for is the loin. You can see the start of the loin here, and on this side you see a large part of the loin. Now we're going to follow that loin and going to cut off the belly side. Now you can see there's a bone right here, so we'll start by taking that out. I'm just looking at the line to follow, and when I'm sure I have the right line, then I make my cut. All the way down to the bone. Now we'll start following our cut on the other side. Make another incision so you can actually see where you're going. And I will take this and follow each bone to the end. Now we'll start cleaning until we reach our cut, bone by bone. There we go. So I'm thinking I'm doing a fairly decent job here. Except for that last one, of course. There we go. Now if you're wondering why your pork belly always have riblets, here's your answer. Now I'm just gonna scrape off the rest of the bones. Make them look really pretty. Get that silver skin off, membrane. Look at how beautiful our piglet rack of ribs look now. Absolutely gorgeous. Now let's turn this into an even better roast. But first we're going to be toasting the pine nuts. You know, pine nuts, they kind of tend to brown up, but then all of a sudden they go from brown to black. So you gotta make sure you keep your eye on it. The pine nuts are done, time to make our spice mix. We'll start off with a little bit of garlic. And I want around 3 cloves of them. We're just going to take off the skin, cut off the bottoms. We'll put this in a little fruit processor. Then we're going to add a handful of fennel seeds, some fresh parsley, and around a teaspoon of black peppercorns. We're going to add 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Now don't worry, the olive oil will not turn into mayonnaise. Now we're going to save a portion of this because we want it to be on the outside. Now this is the part where we need to be careful with our meat, because basically I want to butterfly it, but I also want to keep it on the bone and I don't want to damage it. And that's a tricky part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to run it along the bones for around 1/2 centimeters. Now we made our first incision, and you can see we made a nice incision down the length of the bones. Now we make a U-turn, which is a lot more tricky. Now you can see that in the core of my meat is almost still frozen. It's just so cold outside, but we gotta work with what we got. We'll pour on some of our seasoning. There we go. Look at all these nice flavor that we got in here. All we need now is a little bit of acidity to boost up the flavors. So we're grating up some lemon zest. Now we're going to put in the coppa di Parma. And that's gonna... Oh, this one broke. Now you know what happens. I love coppa di Parma. I hope I don't break this one. Translates to I hope I break this one. There we go. Let's put the coppa di Parma in. When you got a big roll of butcher's twine like this, the trick to not having it fall off the table is to put it in a bowl. Now you can easily take it off. I want to make sure you have plenty of length. I want to make sure that I press everything and that it's really sticking well to the meat, because we kind of want that shape back, that U form. And now we're going to tie it up. We'll start at the ends. I want my nut to be on the back side, because the front is the presentation side. Make sure that you got all these ropes at the right position, and it's tricky, I know, but look at the end result. Look at that. What a beauty, right? Now we need to start working on our crust. For our crust we're going to be using the stuff that we saved. There we go. Then we're going to add our pine nuts. Now here comes the tricky part. I also want to add a chili pepper, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't like sharpness, just leave it out. I think it's a bit of fun. Now we don't want to emulsify it too fine. We definitely want it to be coarse. You see, now it's a perfect paste. It will stick to anything. It will stay in form. Look at that, beautiful. What I'm doing is I'm using a silicone brush, not that I'm brushing it on, but the crust doesn't stick to the silicone brush as much as it does to my fingers. I've got my Kamado Joe Big Joe set up to smoke at 160 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna add a chunk of hickory, set the heat deflectors in place, put the grill grate on, and now we'll put on our beautiful piglet rack. There we go. We'll close the lid and let it smoke. It's been almost an hour. Time to check on our piglet rib roast. Woohoo! Wow, it definitely picked up a lot of smoke. The bones are a bit on the dark side, but overall it looks really good. Let's measure the temperature. 58.5. Let's measure the other side. What do we got here? 71. So we might need to flip this around and then give it another 10 minutes or so. Let's take it off the grill. Look at that beauty. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. But of course, we have to wait. We gotta wait at least 10 to 20 minutes. We'll put on a little bit of tin foil and build us a tent. Bum, 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 bum. Woohoo! Look at that. You know, it has that sour, smoky smell, but it also has kind of like a, I don't know, it's all kinds of flavor. It smells so good. I can't wait to slice into this. Look at this. Come, take a close up. Look at how juicy this is. This is absolutely amazing. I'm looking where the bone is, and I want to cut in between the bones, of course, but I want to cut right next to the bone to make sure that we get through it. And I don't want to damage the crust. So I'm going in carefully. There we go. Let's take a look inside. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that looks. Now look at how juicy that is. Now let's plate this up. A little bit of green, some orange from orange zest, and a little bit of salt. This is good. Time for our taste test. This is my favorite time. Look at the beautiful smoke ring, by the way. We didn't talk about it yet, but fat cap, crust, beautiful stuffing. Nice and juicy. There we go. Oh wait, I almost forgot to take off that little string that we put on. And of course you want to do it without damaging that crust too much. Now we can go.
Come on, man, what do you think?
It's really good. I'm eating here. Really wrong. Wow, this is really good. What I really like about it is how that smoke flavor stands out from all these herbs and all these spices. So it's still there. Sometimes when you smoke something, it just disappears and the smoke flavor is not there. But this time we definitely got a good amount of smoke on there. It really is beautiful with that pork. And together with these spices, man, they're bold. They're super flavorful. And if you're putting on that coppa di Parma, it's inside there. That's provided us with a lot of salt. And maybe you want to season it a little bit afterwards with a little bit more salt, but overall, perfect. It's super exciting to try a different cut, a different pork rack, a piglet rack. It's more fatty, it's less flavorful, but it's definitely fantastic, especially when you put spices on like this. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And if you did, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button and leave me a comment down below. See you guys next time. Big thanks to all our patrons and our YouTube members. See you guys next time. Eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.